think she's a little less than Min-Mei. Again, I understand the emotion here. It's just oh, come on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
You know that-
Lin Min-Mei didn't have to deal. Like, she just powered on through no matter what. Hey everybody, welcome back to one of the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Macross Frontier. We are in episode 20 out of...
25.
It's 25? Okay.
Yeah, we're in the final run.
Yeah, that's right, because we're going to be up to 21 by today's recording. Which means that we get to 24, and after that, and then we'll finish with a single episode.
And the movies, which are 2.
Yeah, we're not going to watch the movies at the same time that we're watching the last episode.
Oh,
Well,
no.
maybe, assuming. The thing is, I keep thinking about the movies are going to be movie length, and they never are. So I schedule us to watch like a movie, and it turns out, okay, we've watched a 30-minute thing. Okay. Well, didn't schedule this out well enough.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You know, it's going to be the end of the month, next month, I think, by the time we get there. So,
yeah, see what happens. But coming also in the final stretch, we have probably the resolution, maybe, or of the romantic triangle. The politics are also coming up to beginning now dicey. The stakes are being raised there. And we know that there's Vajra inside the frontier. Which is not the first time this has happened, I know, but this time it seems to be just more than just the 1 or 2, right? And whatever Grace and Leon were planning is about to kick off.
I would argue that the politics aren't kicking off.
What do you mean not? What do you mean they're not kicking off?
Well, because they're doing the opposite of that. The politics are just about to be ended.
I mean, a coup d'etat is politics, just using guns instead of words.
Well,
it is political action.
No, I think it's violence. I mean, one could argue that politics is violence, but this is violence of a different variety. You know, like an assault isn't politics. If I attack you on the street, I'm not invoking my political will against you. I'm invoking my physical will against you.
Well,
if I shoot you in the head, yeah, well, no, that could be the motivating factor isn't the action.
Oh, but it's part of the action, and therefore also probably part of the
it's part of the action if I'm shouting at you my, like, hard left-wing theories while I'm beating your ass. That would make it part of the action. The motivation and the action itself are separate unless they are one and the same. Right? If I pay you to kill a politician for political means, your act is still not political.
It would be 100% political.
No, my motivation is political. The action is still murder. So,
I mean, you can have a political murder. That's a thing.
Yeah, but again, you're not the politician. Well, I guess maybe I framed this poorly when I was saying if I had you assassinate somebody. I'm saying that the assassin is going to kill a guy. And once that guy is dead, the politics are off the table.
Oh, on the contrary, because there's always political ramifications. For example, let's say that you do kill.
Here's the problem, is that you're about to jump into like a heavy example, and I'm saying in the narrative. The narrative so far has been Leon's been doing all this politics shit, Grace has been all this politics shit. Now they're about to kill the president, and it's like, after that, I feel like it's going to go into action, not politics. We're not about to... you remember a couple episodes back where Leon is talking to President Glass, and he says, I've got the... He doesn't say senators. I can't remember what he says. He's got like a bunch of them on board, so now they have the winning vote to get the long-range vote thing get done. Yeah, those were the fucking politics. We're not going to go, well, we're going to have Leon impeached because we know that he's committed the murder. We're going to bring this up to an investigation panel so that they can form a committee in order to see about impeaching him so that we can then have him removed from office. No, we're going to go into fucking action mode. Last 5 episodes, it's going to be action from here on out. It's not going to be politics. That's what I'm saying. It's narrative. Not talking about the real world. I'm talking about what we're going to choose to focus on, which is to say, it's not going to be politics anymore. I'll be I may be surprised, not disappointed, that if we like choose to not focus on the Vajra thing anymore and just
Mhm.
spend the next 5 episodes in the Senate.
No, I don't think that's how it's going to play out.
Well,
No.
that's what I'm saying. Then we're not doing politics.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So action it is.
And to your previous argument, I just think you can remove the motive from the action. The motive describes why the action is taking place, but the action itself is still its own thing.
See, but I went to law school, and in law school, the first thing you taught in criminal law is that it's mens rea, actus rea, criminal thought, criminal act. Now, you can have some criminal acts that do not have criminal thought, and not all criminal thought leads to criminal acts, but most criminal acts also have a criminal thought.
I would argue that law is just a construct.
So it's everything else.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's not valid.
And actually, I think it does, considering that different countries and different laws, and, depending on where you are, is what the law is.
It
So,
is, and therefore valid for those people who are in the system. Now,
right.
can the
My
system be
point, my
changed?
point is more so that when you start pulling out the Latin of the meanings of different viewpoints on what law is, you're
Yeah.
getting into the weeds on very specific versions of what law means, which is to say, your education into law could be completely different than, say, a lawyer practicing in New Zealand, right? And I guess I know that feels like a stretch, but we're dealing with like Macross, for example, as the medium of which we're having this debate, which is itself a multinational group in space in the fucking future. But I'm just saying that when you get into the weeds on things, like very specialized, you're not even talking about specialized, you're very talking like generic. But when you talk about that kind of thing, it's very much from the perspective of one specific location on Earth.
Perhaps, but I think it
Because
it
again,
still
what is the
covers
purpose of law? What is the purpose of practicing law?
well, it's part of the structure of society to
Yeah, but
maintain an
it's
order society.
the purpose of practicing law is literally to debate itself. Because you
No,
also have like what's the changing moral standard of society? What do we find to be legal and what do we find to be illegal based on the morals of that changing society? Law exists to debate itself. And at the end of the day, you gotta think, what's the purpose of that if we live in a society where we could just come up with solutions to problems on our own without
well, it
the
is
whole
it
legal structure around it?
well, I think the issue is that law exists because the alternatives are worse. In other words, it is should be a civil way of dealing with disputes and resolving those disputes, where before often either violence or neglect would rule. In other words, either nothing was done because there were not rules and laws to guide that, or people resorted to violence because it was the only way to have a clear winner, regardless of concept of justice, right? So
Oh,
law,
yeah. I
yes,
guess we could go to the
like
church about all this.
like all systems, including religion, there's always an element of self-justification and self-aggrandizing. And there's also flexibility. Just something because something is not cast in stone, because it is a social construct and can't change, doesn't mean it doesn't have any value to the people who are involved in it at any one time. In other words, it is real to us because we operate with it and either defy it or follow it in not necessarily equal measure, but certainly to a degree. For example, and this is something that happened with me, and this is a huge aside. When I went to law school, one of my realizations was is that our entire society is underpinned by law. I think the common conception of law is, oh, the cops show up and I have to deal with that, or I get a lawsuit
I
and
have
I
to
have to
send
deal
this
with it.
video back in time when it actually applied.
Yeah, yeah.
Not so much
And
now.
well, I mean, still the force of law is being used. It's just that it is being used as a weapon in a way that,
Oh, you're one of those.
yeah, that shouldn't be used. So, and I'll leave it at that. That's the extent of my take on
Yeah,
that.
starting to bring politics into this. Instead of
Yeah.
funny little jokes, now it's here's what I
Yeah.
actually believe.
So let's leave it at that, shall we? It's
I don't know. I guess my point was more so that other disciplines create or refine, and law always just seems to me like it is of itself.
I mean,
Like, I guess the closest thing I could come to describing would be like the psychological sciences,
mhm,
like refining what it is to understand the human psyche is a
mhm,
constantly evolving science because, well, we change as people constantly, and the times that we live in, the things that we're exposed to, change the human condition enough that new conditions have to be defined, and also our understanding of the actual physical sciences of the human anatomy change with our understanding of the psychological science. That is a science that only works within itself, right?
mhm.
That it doesn't interact with the rest of anything really, but it adds to the human understanding. It adds to the greater good, whereas law is just a debate within itself.
I think the use of the word interact um, might be questionable there, or the lack thereof. I will say the law is always catching up to reality, but at the same time, it also shapes it. So it's not a debate among itself, it's a form of debate, one of many in our society.
Well,
It's just that,
it's like money, right? Money's a construct that we invented to create a easier form of transaction between goods and services, right?
mhm,
But money is just a construct.
true.
The value we place on things is just accepted because it's been that for so long, like the gold standard and everything like that. Um, that we could, if we wanted to, just fucking get rid of the entire concept. Go back to barter if we wanted to. But it's so inviolable, the idea of currency, that we will never do that. Um, trading stocks and whatnot. But law, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
Is that you've built this up over time, a series of legal disputes or legal agreements, precedent and whatnot, that it just sits on a mountain of itself to argue against itself. We're gonna make a new precedent based on this, the findings of this court in this case, that we're then going to present in any future cases that have anything even close to doing this, and it doesn't develop. It just doesn't feel to me like it develops anything for the greater good. Because you can imagine how many laws exist that just seem so fucking backwards that,
Hmm.
I don't know,
But
that
then,
wasn't even my point of my argument, that laws are sometimes backwards. It's just that, law, just like currency, is a construct that we invented to make things easier to transition for things that we need to get done in our day-to-day lives. And it's just that, unlike currency, well, I know currency is evil too. I don't know. I don't know. One day I'm probably going to find myself living on a commune, I guess.
yeah, it's been tried before.
I mean, if I could, I'd just buy a whole plot of land, invite a bunch of people to move, and we'll just do a full fucking social experiment.
Forget the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, sure, why not? Gotta go sometime, right?
Yeah.
I just won't, I won't sugarcoat it. Well, some, it's Kool-Aid.
Literally,
But,
that is sugarcoating, but yeah.
well, no, I mean, I won't sugarcoat it. This is the suicide Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna tell you, oh, I just bought us all Kool-Aid today, whatever he said. I don't know what his whole deal was.
Yeah, no, they were pretty much well aware that we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If I'm gonna kill us all with Kool-Aid, I'm like, let you know. But I mean, obviously, if you're all drinking the Kool-Aid, then we're all down for it. I'm not gonna be like, the aliens are gonna come take us. Just be sure to wear your Nikes.
And go to space without the swish.
Listen, guys, I don't have enough money to pay for the commune taxes anymore. The land is expensive. Well, I did have enough for Kool-Aid.
Yeah. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Either you can drink the Kool-Aid, or I'm also going to jump off of this bridge, and I'm hoping you'll join me. Or a cliff, or whatever your parents told you not to do.
Yeah. So shall we follow that train of thought into this episode?
Yeah, there's not much train of thought to follow, but let's watch the episode anyway. It's what we're here to do.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
It's probably his fault for printing out a bunch of paperwork that literally says it.
ハルト君言うんだ私伝えなきゃ私の気持ちいいのか悪いのかよく
Flowers don't laugh.
いいのさ多分みんな誰かを好きでいたいんだ
素敵なステージだったわ
また歌いたくなったな
言ったでしょ私はもういいのシェリル・ノームはもう
I mean, it seems unlikely. There's a movie where you meet Firebomber.
嘘はつくなよシェリルお前が歌を捨てられるはずがないじゃなきゃお前の歌があんなにたくさんの人間に届くもんかよ俺だって舞台に立ってた人間の端くれだ本物と偽物の違いぐらいわかる
God, how far does she? I don't think it was implied last episode. She just burst through the door like that.
ミシェルお前の恋はどこにある 嘘
Sorry, where were the other two at?
They were on the side, down. Behind the building, yeah.
The last time I remember seeing them was out in the, wherever the fuck. Sorry, it's hard to describe a place when you've never been there because it's not real.
Yeah. True.
You know, the promenade. You know, wherever the hell they were having that previous conversation.
I mean, the Alto, Cheryl, and now Ranka were on the roof, which is also the takeoff point for the...
Right, but I mean earlier
yeah.
in the episode when, like, Catherine and Ozma were faking having a date.
Oh, they were in the street somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's where Michael and Clan were before, and I don't know where the hell that is.
Yeah.
I don't live there. This is that thing where, like, when we're talking about tabletop and what you expect the characters to know of the world that they're in, there's always going to be a divide, because I don't fucking live there. You know? I also appreciate the one scene of Evangelion. You know, you never have a lot of way in on the openings, I find.
I mean, aside from Alto's breaking his visor and I'm hoping that there's still pressure in that cockpit, or else he should be dead.
Well, you remember Luca
triangle,
put,
too.
like, tape on the mask before?
うん
あの私ごめんなさい
なんか
やだもう死んじゃったい
And those decided the attack to begin. I thought for a second somebody else took the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking terrible. To be fair, though, I don't blame Rankin for going Kerrigan on this one.
警隊のバシラ。なぜこんなところに。わかりません。出せ。
Yeah, it'd be a bitch to be saved from assassination just to get murdered anyway.
貴様。
残念ながら婚約は破棄させてもらうよ、キャシー。
こっちから願い下げよう。
You don't get to do that after he said it first. In fact.
問題が発生した。すぐにそちらに戻る。君はそこを動くな。バカな。残念だったな、三島。くそ。
I'm sorry, did you just like flash step? What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was one of those guys and I heard the president call on the phone, my first move would be turn the gun on Leon. Like, I was on your side the whole time.
Yeah.
ラガ
歌ってくれ。お前の歌であいつらをおとなしくさせるんだ。
でも
But you can't because he's hurting inside. That affects the music.
頼む。
アルト君、やっぱり私やだ、歌えないよ。
ランカ。
こんなんじゃ歌えないよ。私もうやだ、こんなの。私はバジラと戦うための道具じゃない。こんなのもう嫌だよ。
I think she's a little less than Min May. Again, I understand the emotion here. It's just the, oh, come on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
No,
Lin Min May didn't have to deal. Like, she just powered on through no matter what.
歌うのに気持ちがいるのはよくわかる。でもあなたはプロなのよ。
She's not, though. She's literally just amateur becoming professional.
あなたの歌声には力があるの。私が望んでも得られない力が。
頼む、ランカ。
This makes me
Oh,
think
when
that I
your food
literally
becomes
just got
a
done
bad
watching
Yeah.
Ross Avon the other day, and there's a whole scene about you have to want me for this to work.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I think this is a misstep. I wish they had spent more time developing the I hate this
Yeah.
bit.
胸が痛いよ。痛いよ。痛いよ。痛いよ。
Because I feel like it was the best part about the whole we never resolve our emotional state. And they were about to do it, and then Vajra attack.
感情レベルマイナス7.3。
カッカ。
嘘。どうして。
なんなんだよ。
So I guess at the end of the day, we get to blame Alto.
どうして。
まるで11年前の。
これはあなたの仕業ですか。 結構始末は自
Oh
分
yeah,
で
it's not like you have a super cyborg that can go out and take out the president.
混乱は天の廃材だ。行くぞ。
Not like it seems like you need to kill the president, considering the entire armed force seems to be following your command anyway.
逃げ切ったはずじゃなかったの？
艦長。
デフォルト反応？バジラです。
Yeah, it's almost like Ranka has a song that puts out fold waves.
ミシェル、ルカ。先輩。無事か。だけどなんでこんなにバジラが？アイランド内で繁殖してたのかもしれません。このサイズには銃が通用するのが救いか。
だがこう数が多くては。
とにかく SMS の基地に行こう。あそこに行けば武器もある。
大丈夫です。ちょっと調子が悪かっただけですよ。ランカさんの歌はみんなの希望なんですから。
Yeah, keep piling on her. That seems to be working out so well.
不足かもしれません。SMS に行けばカナリアさんの K 2機から下ろしたフォールドウェーブアンプもあります。あれを使えばきっと。よし、行くぞ。シェリル、ナナツさん、待ってろよ。すぐ行って。
私たちは大丈夫。早く行って。
Oh, that'll be a real feather in the cap for Luca. Hey, all the shit that you've been doing kind of got the girl you love hurt.
必ず助けに来る。そう。ランカ、何をほけてる。
アルト君の手が。
Yeah, it's like episode 1 or 2 again.
そうだ。前にも誰かに手を引かれて、その時も手がとっても熱くて。
Because he wasn't a cyborg yet.
内部のバジラが援軍を呼んだのか。船団に近づけさせるな。
ですが、秋月、ゴーチン。
Yeah, I don't know that it sunk, but it certainly did something.
抜かれたわ。バジラが船団に。 ランカ。
アンタレス1、外からも来るわ。あなたはそちらの大将。フロンティアにはまだ壊滅してもらっては困るの。
しかし
バジュラは決してリトルクイーンには危害を加えない。強制モードにされたくなければ命令に従う。
Doesn't mean she couldn't incidentally get hurt by any surrounding event.
了解。
コネクト。
Not for nothing, but if the M falls off that building, that's the SS headquarters.
Lanka ランカ君との連絡は。全力を挙げて探し出せ。
ご無事でしたか、閣下。
おお、君か。
Yeah, put your guns down. This feels safe.
以後はあそこで指揮を取る。
ありがとうございます、閣下。これからは私、レオン三島にお任せを。
Looks like you got Siegel Klein. I, in fact, don't even know what the point of keeping him alive up until then was.
戦うのも死ぬのも兵隊だけで十分だろ。なんでだよ。
落ち着け、バカ者が。こういう時こそ落ち着け。いいな、ミシェル。
クラン。
ルカ、 使用可能な武器は
I was confused for a second. I thought we lost another member of Pixie Squad.
次やとバルキリー用の兵装がいくつか。しかしそれだけじゃ奴らには。
いや上等だ。
クラ、お前バトルフロンティアにこんな近道があったとは。
Time to run up on a dead body.
大統領とその家族にのみ知らされているものだから。
You're not to her father.
Well, he was her father when she was alive. Now he's a dead body. I'm more surprised that they died on the, say, conveyor belt, but, you know, and then wound up all the way over there. And not for nothing, President Glass was not a fully developed character. I mean, don't really care.
I care more because of the effect on Kathy, but
さっきの答え教えてくれないか。
You know, when I asked you, who do you love?
お前の声はどこにある？
Hey, it's that scene you gave me the fifth degree about.
捜索中さ。そんなもんあったかどうか。俺自身忘れちまったがね。
なるほど。確かにお前は臆病者だ。私はお前が好きな店で。
お前こんな時何を。
バカ。こんな時だからだ。いいか店で。よく覚えておけ。
Also, I'm a vampire and 1,000 years old.
ミシェル。死ぬのが怖くて恋ができるか。
Why did you take your clothes off?
for the transformation.
But she's still wearing her panties and her headband.
Mm.
We're half-assing this one, I feel like.
Wow, she really got hurt.
逃げ切れるって言ってたのに。
話がうますぎるって思ったんだよ。政府の連中。
僕たち死んじゃうの？
大丈夫だエディ。ママたちがきっと守ってくれる。
だけど怖いよパパ。
楽な。もしもの時はパパが命に変えてもお前を守る。
命に変えても。
Let me be honest, and if I was in this situation, I don't think I'd be talking at all. I honestly can't understand people who would talk in a situation like this.
じゃなきゃ、お前の歌があんなに多くの人間に届くもんかよ。
歌か。
Except the last time, it only shined when Renka was near you singing, and not when you were singing.
まだ届くと思う。
It didn't before. That's my point.
ランカちゃん、あなたが希望の歌姫なら、私は絶望の中で歌ってみせる。救助はまだなの？
誰かなんとかしてくれよ。
Slightly reminiscent of when Mylene got kidnapped and had to sing in the cargo container to calm everyone down. Very convenient that the lights did that.
Well, yeah. Very theatrical, but still.
It'd be so much better if Alto still had the other earring, because he'd be hearing this too.
Yeah.
銀河の妖精。
Look, he hasn't done anything wrong in the longest amount of time. I still sigh whenever I see that guy.
Yeah.
Damn Elmo.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, she's not gonna die. I'm assuming. No, never mind. I forgot Rank is not on the ship today. You know, say, oh no, I thought that was Grace for a second. Grace's pod. With no sense of scale, how was I gonna tell that's a Centrati?
あると人を本気で好きになるのは命がけなんだな
I mean, conversely, if you really love someone, you wouldn't put them in a position where you'd have to risk your life for them. Well, fuck. Full on Starship Troopers mode, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bit of exposure and everything there too.
Yeah.
Anyway, even if you did grab him.
Yeah. They really went for the, oh, he's really, really dead.
And that's how the show ends. That's it. No more episodes.
Yeah, we're done.
Or it's the other fake out from before when they were recording the I'm gonna say Fate Zero, Macross Zero thing, where the credits start rolling right near the end, but not the actual end. This is actually a movie that they've been filming the entire time. It's not actually happening.
Yeah. I was waiting for that moment for a very long time. I was like, yeah, it's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and
yeah, because you're sick.
It did.
He's been waiting for this to happen.
No, I mean it's a highlight or low point, I suppose, of the story.
It's a highlight. I've been waiting for this to happen.
It's a low point, actually. The story.
Literally, not one point in any of my theories about anything have I been like, oh yeah, and then Michael's gonna die in front of Clan and then get sucked out into space. Because I haven't focused on Michael at all, and nor Clan, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were a side story, but now that story is
just beginning. Clan's still alive.
Yeah.
それは人々の心を苛み、決別の時へ導いてゆく。次回、青のエーテル、悲恋の歌、銀河に響け。
Sorry, it's the element of the entire sacrifice that Michael was doing was to make her safe while she gets into her Centrati form. And literally on the next time, she's back in micro form. It's like, what the fuck was the point?
I mean, it's not. We don't know if that's immediately after that.
Oh, clearly not. They showed us a bunch of body bags. It's just like, what does she do then? It's like, literally, he sacrificed his life to make sure you were safe while you were getting macronized, and then Boom. Next time on Micronized again.
Punch in the gut.
Well, it's sad. I very much felt it in the moment, but the fact is that they're side characters that I don't pay much attention to.
I guess because I've seen this before, I do have a stronger connection to the characters in that sense.
Right. Well, as I said, it feels like they're only doing this emotional shit now.
Yeah.
Like, it's been side reference in the past, like, oh,
Yeah.
Clan has a thing for Michael. Like, you never asked me out, idiot. You know, that sort of shit. But it's always been, like, very light. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like, who do you love? You know, it's like, I'm not gonna have that super. It's not like Alto and Renka and Cheryl. It hasn't been the theme going on. Just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, 3 different couples are like, you know, we better figure this shit out. We've got 5 episodes to go.
When I first saw it, it surprised me. Like, what? They did that? But now looking back at this episode, it's like, oh yeah, all the death flags were there. Like declarations of love. What would you do, you know, for your loved one? I mean, it was all like, yeah, somebody was going to die. And, you know, and I also feel that the reason why they killed Michael, and I always felt this way, is because they didn't kill Ozma the 2 times they did. It's like they faked out twice. Like, oh, Ozma is the Roy Fokker of this. So Roy died in SCF Macross. So somebody like that has to die here. And he kept not dying. And they were like, no, we got to show that this is very serious. So we got to kill the character. Oh, by the way, who can we kill that won't derail the story, but might still be significant? Because we had hinted about this romance, right? Boom, Michael.
I don't think they faked out Roy. I don't think they faked out Ozma twice. I think they only faked him out once.
Oh, he got twice in the hospital.
Yeah, but the first time in the hospital wasn't a fake out. He wasn't death flagging. He wasn't like obviously so hurt he wasn't going to make it back. The first time, the second time was the obvious fake out because they pulled the whole pineapple, not salad, but they pulled out pineapple cake, and they have him basically. Well, yeah. Well, they also have somebody look into his cockpit, and they do all the Roy stuff. That is the obvious fake out. But no, I mean, I didn't think Michael was going to die. He didn't seem obvious to me. I thought sorry, that is a character from Mushoku Tensei. I don't remember what her character's name is. This one, Luca's love interest.
Yeah,
I thought she was going to be dead when the blast hits, because you know that's obvious. That is. Luca, you've been up to some nefarious shit. You didn't tell her the thing you said you were going to tell her. This is your comeuppance. This is obviously not bad guy, but this is karma. This is your karma. Yeah.
Coming to roost, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not a main character, or you are a main character. You're not part of the main elements that's working. Well, you are, sort of. I don't know. This show's kind of weird, and it's got a bunch of people that are pushing the story, but don't feel like main characters.
Oh, well, they're not the central characters. They're peripheral, but that's actually good because they're
supporting cast.
They're supporting cast, but they're doing their own thing, which gives it a sense of like this is bigger than just these 3 people. They are important. They are at the center of it, but not the whole of it.
Well, right? What I mean is that we make those characters pay for their actions first, and then we work our way up to make the people that are the primary characters, not primary, you know, like Leon and whatnot, then make them pay up. We work our way up, and I don't know, that felt like the more natural death that should have happened. Like, I don't want her to die, but it, you know.
Nanase is her name.
Yeah, that's why I went with Nana Hoshi. It was the closest character in my head from a different show. They both have the Nana bit in there. But, you know, having her die, let's be honest, she doesn't do a whole hell of a lot. She is the incarnation of hope for the future, in that that's all she does. Oh, rank guy, I hope you do this. Oh man, I hope I get that job. Oh man, everything would be nice in the future. That's her whole character synopsis.
Nanase Matsumoto.
But having her die would make Luca just like take in the perception of everything around him again and see what he's actually been up to and what it's cost him, which would then have him start using his resources to try and solve the problems that he's actually been helping to cause this entire time. And that would be more beneficial to bringing the story to a conclusion that would be acceptable versus just having Michael die.
Yep.
Also, unsatisfying there because we don't really get any resolution on his whole sister thing.
Oh, we don't.
This isn't Gundam.
Yeah.
This isn't, this isn't the whole, war is unsatisfying and shit just happens sometimes. This is Macross, where music can change the world.
True, but it's also war is not good,
That's not. That's the primary message of Gundam. It's not the primary message of Macross.
Yeah, but it's still there though.
Yeah, but every Gundam series is war is not good. Versus Macross Plus wasn't war is not good. Right? So that's what I'm saying, is that the primary focus of the show isn't that, hey, random stuff just sometimes can happen and you can get taken out by a stray bullet cartridge sometimes, just really unfortunate how the world works. I don't feel like that's the expectation going into a Macross show. That's, Misa's going to declare her love for Hikaru and then just slip in the shower one day and die, and Hikaru's going to be left alone. That feels like the tragedy that would happen in a Gundam show. Actually, side tangent, that is one of the things that makes me the angriest about One Piece. The Zoro, the swordsman from One Piece, his background is that him and this girl we're gonna be the greatest swordsman ever, and she just fucking dies in the background of an episode, not like even on screen, because she slipped down some stairs. It's like, in the world of One Piece, where they're like tossing islands around and shit, Zoro's backstory is the motivation for him trying to be the world's greatest swordsman is a promise he made to a girl who slipped and died. It's like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if Goku is fighting so hard to live up to the dreams of Gohan, who once died because he slipped and fell? Just.
I mean, but in that case, they have the Dragon Ball, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, death is a rotating door. But, I don't know. Like I said, that kind of, obviously, it's not so much of that when it comes to how Michael died. It's just, it doesn't seem like Michael was the narrative to go with here. Nana had a very into the main plot of the story opportunity to have died and made something important. Like, obviously, I think from the very last shot here in this episode that Alto is going to be motivated by it. Although, weirdly, not in the way that he should, because this looks like Angry Eyes Alto, and I feel like the Alto we should be seeing in like the final shot should be proposing Alto, or I don't know, like, he should be motivated to reveal his true feelings and to tell one of the two girls this is how it's going to be. Or maybe he's a polycule. I don't care. You should be telling somebody.
Put a pin on that.
No, I don't have to. We've literally got like 5 episodes left.
Yeah.
By the end of the year, I'll know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like we're getting the wrong visual. I mean, it's a pretty cool-ass visual because I like what they're doing with the color in the eyes. Although, if I had to guess, like, apropos of having not watched the episode, he's really angry at Cheryl right now. Because, well, who has that multicolored hue that he could be reflecting in his eyes, right? Cheryl's fucking hair. The only neon-colored hair in all of existence.
Pink. Her hair is pink.
Her hair is a neon.
I see it as pink.
Well, you can have neon shades of pink. It's the
Yeah,
only
true.
hair that literally glows in the dark. Like, I mean, it doesn't, obviously, because we're sitting in a dark room, but it is just freaking bright. It's like not a natural hair color. In a world full of blues and greens and everything, hers is the only one that, I don't know. Like, you could attach LED lights to it and it would look normal.
You can make a rig out of a hair.
Basically.
Yeah. Cheryl, my 220 FPS girlfriend.
I'm just saying, look at her hair compared to everyone else's. It's not a normal
Oh,
hair
yeah,
color.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe for me, it just feels like a Rorschach test of neon lights.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess
That was the episode.
Yep, that's it for that episode. So once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?